Hi everyone, and welcome to Conservation Kids. This is a show where you have a question about nature and we find out the answer with the help of a few of our experts like Professor Turkey Vulture here.
Hi, my name is Ryan, and what does cold-blooded mean for animals?
Brr! That sounds chilly just thinking about it. I really dislike being cold. I know that animals like lizards and snakes are cold-blooded, but I have absolutely no idea what that means. Professor Turkey Vulture, you're an animal. Can you help us out with this one?
That they live in the sea. I think their blood is cold because most of the animals have warm blood and there wasn't enough warm blood, so they had to get cold blood.
Wow, those kids had some great ideas. Now, let's go find our expert. I know Brenna, the park protector, knows a lot about what being cold-blooded means.
When people ask me what makes something cold-blooded, I think most people are usually talking about snakes. So I thought I'd bring a friend along with me to answer your question today. This is Socks, and she is a garter snake. Have you ever met a garter snake this big, Professor TV? Yeah, she lives at Mountsburg, and she's a fairly good size because we take such good care of her and she's so happy in her home. Now, garter snakes are the most common snake you're going to find at Rattlesnake Point, which is a bit funny because the name of the park doesn't line up with the type of snake we have living here. People always ask, are there rattlesnakes at Rattlesnake Point? But there aren't any. But you will find lots and lots of snakes like Socks here, garter snakes. And as you can see, she's perfectly harmless to humans. She's not venomous. She likes to eat things like worms and salamanders and frogs, mice. So if you're a salamander, you better watch out. But for humans, we can actually do more damage to her than she can to us. Now, she is what you would call cold-blooded. And what that means is that she gets her energy, her heat from her environment. She's the same temperature as the things around her. And you can see from my fingers that she's curling up pretty tightly around my fingers because my fingers are warm. So she's absorbing heat from me. Now, that's a bit different from you because if you got up and you did, say, 20 jumping jacks right now, your body would make all kinds of heat and then it would sweat to cool down. But Socks can't do that. Socks needs to get heat from sunlight and from rocks and from soil. And when she gets too hot, she needs to move someplace cooler to cool down. Now, the really cool thing about that is that means she's not really cold-blooded. She's something called ectothermic. So ectothermic's a really fancy word you can teach to adults who use the term cold-blooded because Socks can actually be hotter than me if she's in a warmer location, and she'll be colder than me if she's in a colder one. So ectothermic is really the correct term when you're talking about a snake like Socks.
Wow, so today we learned that it's unlikely to find rattlesnakes here at Rattlesnake Point in Milton, Ontario, but it is possible to find snakes like garter snakes. Socks and other garter snakes are considered non-venomous and therefore they aren't dangerous to us. The proper term for cold-blooded animals is ectothermic, and this means that they get their heat from the environment because they don't have the ability to make their own. Or they also don't have the ability to get rid of too much heat through things like sweating like we do. Ectothermics in certain situations can actually get warmer than us. Thanks, Brenna the park protector, and thank you, Professor Turkey Vulture. And now for a Conservation Kids tip. Sometimes, if you haven't had the chance to meet a wonderful snake like Socks, you might be scared of them. However, snakes really have more to fear from us. All snakes face threats like purposeful killing, getting run over by cars, and habitat loss. You can help by teaching others about how wonderful snakes are and giving them lots of space on the trails when you see them. They may just be on their long trek to find their winter buddies. Thanks for joining us today on Conservation Kids.